really, really believed in the Bible. He really, really believed in what Christianity should do. And so I'm sure that he was familiar. I mean, I myself was not familiar with the biblical sources that you just mentioned in both St. Paul and in the Old Testament about the phrase "fruits of your labor." But I'm sure Tourget was, and nothing upset him more than the failure of Christians to live up to their own professions, and he believed that equality was a Christian principle as well as a political principle.
I'll just interject, and then I'll get to your question. If you go to the Tales presentation tonight, when you first come in, there will be a slide up that's the ticket that would have been used to vote in favor of holding the 1868 Constitutional Convention. And it was also to select a particular delegate to it. And it was the Republican ticket. And the image that's on there is the Arm & Hammer. So, you know, way before that was used to sell baking soda, it was indeed for this notion of the fruits of labor. And so it's kind of striking that was clearly a emphasis of the Republican Party. And on the religion, I was really struck. You'll hear some of the letters that he wrote to his wife Emma while he was in the convention. And they have a very strong spiritual basis. He has a strong belief that God will take care of them and that God will lead him and this convention to doing the right thing. So there was some questions back here.
I just wanted to ask, from the religion angle, as a Methodist, he might have followed the tenets that John Wesley put forward in the New World. Wesley worked closely with the poor in England, and when he came to America to found Methodism, he was an abolitionist. And I'm curious if there's any indication that there was any reconciliation between Tourget and the church at any point. I mean, the Methodist Church.
He never broke with the Methodist Church. He was just very critical of its failures. I mean, he remained within the Methodist Church for most of his life, except in Greensboro, he stopped attending church because he didn't want to attend a segregated church and a church that preached white supremacy. But otherwise, for most of his life, he remained within the Methodist Church. He was instrumental in getting the Northern Methodist Church to pass a resolution condemning lynching. So he never broke with it. He just he criticized it for its failures, and he criticized ministers for their failures to actually live up to the creed that they preached.
So the question was, it more of a South split? I'm sorry.
North-South.
So North-South split.
No,
sorry.
because basically white supremacy was adopted in the North as well after Reconstruction. And segregation was practiced by Northern churches as well. And Northern churches did not condemn lynching. He tried to get the Presbyterian church to condemn lynching, and it didn't. So, the whole